Awesome. So what I want to do right quick is review some things from last week and make sure that everyone is clear and moving toward actually getting these accomplished. Last week we talked a lot about the daily schedule and how to block your time to make sure that you are doing the things that you need to do. And then we talked about something that is super important to me now, and it should be to you, and that's that morning meeting. So I gave you the outline for the morning meeting as Carol is putting her head down, but I gave you the outline to that morning meeting and things that you should be discussing with either yourself or your team every morning to make sure that you have the most clarity in your business and to keep things moving forward. One thing about this business is we all get great ideas like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, and this is going to bring me more leads and this is going to bring me more closing, but the execution is horrible. The execution is horrible in a few ways. Either you don't get started because you're planning for so long, or you start and you stop because you don't have the support or the follow through to keep things going, or you didn't feel like you got results, or you ran out of money, or whatever the case is, you don't continue with it. Okay. And then thirdly, things start to evolve with this. And so you must maintain these meetings to make sure that you are staying on top of things and things aren't getting out of control. When things get out of control, guess what suffers? Your time suffers. Your time starts getting out of control. You start losing time. And what happens when you lose time? You start losing money. One thing about last week, what did I talk about? Your time is a dollar amount. Your time is worth a dollar amount. And either during that time you are making that money or you are losing that money. One assignment that I gave you all last week was to evaluate how you are spending your time. What activities are you doing? Are they those green time activities that are making you money? Are they activities that should be delegated out to somebody else for less money? If you say to yourself, hey, I make $50 an hour, why are you sitting there doing a $5 an hour activity? You can delegate that out to somebody for $8 to $10 an hour and you're still making 40. Okay. So evaluating your activities like that to make sure that they are making sense. Remember, you're a business owner. Okay. And when you start scaling and start bringing on employees, you are delegating to them those lower level activities that are costing you more than it's making you. Okay, you're delegating to them those things that are $10, $12 an hour activities because you're focusing on those activities that are making you $50 to $100 an hour. That's what's going to really bring some things into perspective, especially for you as a business owner, because believe me, it is scary. It's scary hiring some people. It's scary bringing on people to your team, but that's how you have to think about it. You have to think about it as, hey, I'm just bringing this person on because this will allow me to continue making and doing those $50 an hour activities. And I'm just spending $10 on this, or I'm just spending $12 on this. Okay. The same way that you'll spend four, five, 600, $1,000 on Zillow or some leads, think about your business activities like that. So in this morning meeting, one of the things that we said, you need to go over specific assignments that need to be accomplished, that need to be completed. You have to be specific with this. Okay. Starting Facebook ads is broad. It's not specific enough. Okay. Because there's so many dependencies when it comes to running a Facebook ad. For most of you, it's going to be finding somebody to set up these ads for you. It's going to be looking at your budget to see how much you can afford. It's going to be just deciding what you're going to be running an ad about. Okay. So those are specific assignments that you need to tackle. And you got to get clear on these things in these morning meetings. So that way you're checking off these specific assignments and actually getting closer to that goal of running Facebook ads versus you just saying, oh, I need to run Facebook ads, or you spending money unnecessarily because you don't know what you're doing. Okay. So going over specific assignments, You need to be role playing. All of you who said that you got red X, unless your cold calling skills are sharp as a tack, you need to be role playing with that. Don't waste your money on these red X and these dialers and these leads and not use them effectively. If you're not converting, you're wasting money. It doesn't help just to do the activity. You need to get good at it. You need to strengthen that muscle, get good at that activity, get good at cold calling. Start to watch and listen for those signals over the phone. When they say certain things, you know how to answer it differently to make them say yes. When you get face to face with people, and this is another level, but I watch body language. I do a lot with body language. I'm all deep in that NLP stuff, y'all, I promise you. But that's strengthening it, because I'm not just going to be wasting money and time on these appointments if I'm not going to actually get good at them. Okay? So role play with someone. If you're running a team, you need to know what everybody's schedule is. There you go. I like that, Carol. You need to know what everybody's schedule is. You need to know what your schedule is for the day. Going over your schedule. That's how you remain in control of your time. You look at that schedule every day, print it out. I always say this, print out that schedule. It needs to be on your desk every day. And you stick to that. You're the one setting your schedule. Are you telling me that you can't even adhere to your own schedule? Stick to your schedule. All right. So know what your schedule is like. Know what everyone's schedule is like. Awesome, Bernard. Now we need to look into the leads. Okay. We need to look into the leads. Everybody's doing follow-up. I love everybody's following instructions and showing me what y'all been keeping up with. But you need to know this for your follow-up. Okay, so let's dive deeper into that, because this is something that I didn't discuss last week. I just mentioned the lead tracker, and I mentioned tracking your leads. You need to know where they came from, who they are, what they're trying to do. Yep. So keeping track. What closings do you have going on? What closings do you have going on? What new listings? What new buyers? You can have a lot of potentials come Monday morning here on this call, and then next month I may ask you, and I'm sitting here looking at the numbers that you told me last month, because I write them down, and I'm like, wait a minute, something's not adding up. You told me that you spoke with these many people and you had this many appointments and you're getting this signed, but wait, where are the deals? So are you truly keeping track of these? Especially if you're generating leads at a high volume, you need to know what's up with each of these. Every single time they've been called, every email that's been sent to them, every meeting you've had with them, what's been discussed, what are they waiting on from you? What should you be doing? If you're generating a high number of leads, this will keep you busy. This will keep you busy. So who are your new listings? Who are your new buyers? Closings this week, closings this month, listings this week. How many leads have you received this month? We talk about power hour in our calendar. If you're generating leads every day, every week, you should have people to call every single day during your power hour. If you have all these closings lined up and all these new leads and appointments on those Tuesday update calls, you should have people to call. Okay, it all lines up together. And if you're not tracking these, you really need to start, because this is where your money is going to come from. One thing about people in real estate transactions, and I've seen this over and over again, I've been doing it for a very long time. People will transact when it's convenient to them. If you just so happen to miss someone by a day or two, guess what? You're going to get on that phone. Oh, I just executed a contract with somebody else yesterday. And you're like, oh, I thought we liked each other. I thought I was nice. I thought we had good rapport. Oh, well, they followed up an extra time. And, I mean, I ain't signed nothing with you. Or they may not answer the phone. They're gonna ghost you. Okay. So you want to stay on top of this. Stay on top of this stuff. What type of leads are they? We talked about A, B, and C. What do I need to do to get that B to an A? I'm not going to try to get a C to an A. C, you're kind of trash to me. My business runs at a very high level now. So you can go to another agent that's going to spend 6 months trying to convince you that you need to buy a house. It's not my style of doing business. So how do I work with these B leads and get them to an A? And how do I make sure I'm getting these A's to a closing and making sure that they are well taken care of to where I'm getting other A leads from them? And that's our job. That's our job. That's where our marketing needs to go. Our marketing needs to go to these A leads, these past clients, to be getting more of them. I gave that scenario, that little role play of receiving an A lead or someone referring you with value. This is what you want to train people to do. And so when we get into the marketing now, our job with the marketing is trying to get more A leads. I want you to think right quick. You might have thought about this earlier in the call. The marketing that you're doing, what type of business is that bringing you? What type of lead is that bringing you? I love what Jessica said a few minutes ago about her $3 million listing appointment that she has. Okay. That didn't sound like that was from a Facebook ad. Okay. That was from a connection of hers. So think about the type of business that you receive through your personal connections, through your past clients, through your networks. It all ties together. This is why one of the first activities that you have in Power Unit is to create those lists. And the goals on those lists is for you to have 50 names and numbers on each of those. 50. And what we do in the marketing is we work to receive one client in 12 months from each of those people. Think about that. One client from 150 people from each of those, and they have a whole 12 months to get it to you. What will that do for your business? Okay. So that's why we put this focus on these activities. Best form of getting A leads is through your evidence of success marketing. Okay. Let's talk about evidence of success. It's kind of like you going on Yelp and reading reviews for a restaurant. If you see on this Yelp profile that there's 20 people talking about how great this restaurant is, you're most likely going to want to visit it. Okay, because there's all these people talking about how great it is. Or you can go on Facebook and Instagram and see just a random ad. Nobody's commenting on it. Nobody's liking it. Now I'm going to go to this place that has all these great reviews. Or let's bring it into real estate. I'm about to spend $400,000, $500,000. Who do I want to do that with? Do I want to do that with someone that's recommended, that I can see a lot of people truly enjoy working with and comment and say that this person knows their stuff? Or do I want to place my $500,000 with some random that I just happen to see scrolling? Think about that in investment terms. Where do you feel comfortable putting your money? So we want to work to get people to get that same feeling of Bernard, Carol, Calvin is the trusted person. So we have to show other people that we're successful in this. How many of you get reviews from people? Okay. Reviews. You got to get reviews. You got to get reviews. The end of the transaction is not the time to get the review. It's too late. Most people probably won't even do it because they're done. The end of the transaction is not the best time to get a review. The best time to get a review is in the beginning. when they're happy, when they're excited, when they just went under contract, when you negotiated a heck of a deal from for them. That's when you want to ask for that review. You don't need all your reviews saying, "Oh, Chasen sold me a house. Oh, Chasen sold me a house." Duh. They can look at any profile or whatever and see that you've sold houses. I want that review that talks about how well I negotiated for them. I want that review that talks about how easy I made the presentation to understand. I want that review that talks about how I pointed out things in their home that maybe they might have missed. So that's why I'm going to ask for that review during those other happy times. I need that variety. I don't need somebody just to put on there that I sold them a house. Okay? So ask for your reviews early on. What's the best way to do this? There's not a best way. It's just to get a review. Okay? You can have them send you a video message. You can have them go write it on your Facebook profile. You can have them go write it on Google, on Yelp, whatever. I got them all across the board. Now, you may have those clients that'll do it everywhere, and that's perfectly fine. But get your reviews on these websites. Yelp is great, great, great for real estate. Telling you, everybody trying to be on Zillow, I could care less about Zillow. Matter of fact, Zillow is more work for me because I got to go manually put the stuff in there. I'm not even doing that. I'm not about to give them more data. Whatever they don't have, they don't have. Okay? But I will send someone my Yelp profile. I will send them my listing on Google. Review me there. I care more about those than Zillow, because Zillow can up and decide tomorrow that they don't want to show any more real estate agent stuff besides their agents. Then what? All your 100 reviews are gone now.
So I
Okay,
have all of my reviews on Zillow.
get them somewhere else,
Do
and
you
that and
guys
that and, that,
have
and that's
Rate My
fine, Carol. I have reviews on Zillow too. It's fine, but think about what's been happening with them, and think about the road that they're going down.
No, I understand what you're saying. So I have to start on a different platform.
I
So
would.
Do you guys have Rate My Agent on your MLS?
no.
I don't think so.
So I have Rate My Agent. It's a part of my MLS, like when I log in, and you can share it to pretty much every platform, and that's where I get my reviews from.
Oh, that's convenient.
And that's same for me. So for us, that's why I put in the chat box that our MLS actually helps us to push those out multiple times so that we can try to solicit those reviews. So like you say, I started in the beginning of the transaction, sending that link out, and multiple times I just kept pinging them to get them to use that link that I just sent them.
Yep. Yep, awesome. And what I'll do is, well, I think this is in the file vault anyway. If you go into the file vault and look at my transaction emails, there's an email in there that is an example email of the email that we send to ask for reviews. Just copy and paste it, change the links. It's all good. Okay. So that's an example of evidence of success. Another thing with evidence of success is postcard mailing. So I heard a few of you all reference to postcard mailing. Now, here's what's going on my postcard. I'm putting testimonials on my postcard. Okay, things that people actually said. I'm putting stories on there. This family just got into their new home, blah blah blah. They were living in a hotel, whatever the case is. I'm putting stories on there. I'm not just doing an ad for me being a real estate agent. They can see enough of those. I want them to see that I'm a working real estate agent and people are working with me. Just put under contract, just sold, just listed, but I'm always tying real people into it. And I found that that converts so much better. Even with ads, when you tie real people into it, it converts better. So when you're doing your evidence of success, consider using real stories, Real clients, not just the house. Okay. It's not just about the house. There are so many sources out there where people can get house. But keep in mind, we're creating experiences, and those experiences are what gonna sell. Those relationships that you create with people, you telling them about other relationships. So take that turn in your marketing and really make it about the success of the client, not just you, the client. All right. When we talk about marketing, few different pieces of marketing. We have our evidence of success once a month. Okay. So you can send out that postcard. You can do it through social media. If you want to do a video, whatever, make sure people are getting it once a month. Then there is our letter of the heart. Y'all have heard me talk about that before. Who sent one out this month? Daniel. That's why he's getting the results from it. Does it work, Daniel?
Yep. I mean, that's what I've been doing now. I mean, if anything, getting C leads and B leads are hard, tough. Being consistent with this, the marketing that you've been showing me for a while, it works.
Yep. Yep. So what a letter of the heart is, and here's the mentality that I want you to have with this. A letter of the heart goes to your past clients. It goes to your past clients. It goes to your VIPs as well. And it's just letting them know what's going on with you. How you doing? How's your family? Saying something encouraging. You have to think people have been working with you for probably what, 90 days, 60 to 90 days. When that transaction closes and you don't call anymore or you don't reach out anymore, y'all shared all these stories and properties and in the cars and at meetings, and it's kind of like, dang, you just broke up with me and just left me, just left me out there. I mean, where's that great conversation? You have an amazing personality. We loved working with you, and now it just all ended. It just all ended once this transaction closed. Was I just a dollar sign? Was I just a check? No, we don't want them to feel that way, which is why we send them a letter once a month to keep them updated on those conversations y'all were having, updated on how you've been doing. If you have any vacations you're going on, what I like to put in my letters is something encouraging, also something motivating. Perfect time to talk about motivating stuff. People need it, man. People need it. People losing jobs, people getting sick, people having to sell their dream homes, you know. So putting something encouraging, they're going to remember that. They're going to remember how that letter made them feel. That's why we want to do it. It's not me sending a BS postcard showing that I'm making money left and right and they over there struggling. Okay? You get it?
What
Yeah. What's
kind
up?
of information on that letter from the heart? Like, are you letting them know what kind of closings you did, or are you more so letting them know what's going on with your family?
No. So, for instance, if I was to write a letter of the heart right now, my first paragraph would probably be about me going to New York this past weekend and really seeing snow for the first time, actually touching it, putting it into a ball. You know, all we get is really ice, or if the snow falls here, it's melted by the time it gets down there. I'm going to talk about how it made me feel. What'd you say, Carol?
It's like throwing a dagger right in the heart.
You're so silly. Yeah. She's up there in the north, and she says that I didn't call her. But so I'm gonna probably talk about that in my first paragraph, and then I may talk about what's going on with my family. Oh, it's my grandmother's birthday at the end of the month. I hadn't seen her in like a year, you know, just because of everything. And then I may finish it off with just getting out there and experiencing something that you never experienced before. You know, taking note of the little things, like it was snow, like something that falls from the sky, and it just made me feel good. Like It lifted my spirits. Okay. So it's not about business. It's not about me telling them, oh, I closed another one. It's about me being a human, not a realtor. It's from the heart. Okay. So that's an example of letter of the heart. Other things with marketing, your client appreciation events. So I've actually had a few different company. Well, I've had a company reach out to me lately on LinkedIn, and they actually have started doing pretty much like Zoom experiences. So like Zoom parties, where they'll even go as far as mailing out kits to everybody if y'all wanted to do like a a game night or a cocktail making thing. Or there's so many DJs now out there who are doing Zoom events where they'll be on your Zoom and they'll play music and DJ and all kinds of stuff. Okay, client appreciation events. If you're in a place where things are open and people are comfortable going around, bring it out. What is that? It's not AMC, Cinemark. You can rent out a theater, $90, I believe. Whole theater. Buy your past clients popcorn and a drink. Have everybody distance and sitting there watching a movie. These experiences, again, they're gonna remember Carol did this. Calvin's team did this. What are they getting from other realtors? Advertisements, advertisements, advertisements. We got to break out of that. We got to break out of that. This is still a relationship business. That's how you get those A leads. That's how you get referred to with value, because they're not just thinking of you at that point as a realtor. They know that you do real estate, but they're not thinking of you as a realtor. They want to send people to you. They want their friends to experience what you have to offer. And it may not even be about the transaction. The transaction could have sucked. They could have been stressed out the whole time. They could have been ready to give up and quit. But then you came along with those warm cookies, or you surprised them with dinner the night that they moved in. That's the marketing that you want to do. Okay, so think about your network. Think about the people who you have on those lists. Okay, how can you market to those people to truly put them in your corner? Most times a postcard is not going to be enough. Okay, how would you feel? How would you feel if you got two real estate agents? We got me and Daniel. Okay, and I'm sitting there sending you experiences. I'm inviting you out to events. I'm coming in, speaking to your family, loving on you, updating you. And then you got Daniel, who's just sending you postcards and Facebook ads on how much they've sold. Who you gonna want to do business with? Okay, so think about that for your database. Next week I'm gonna show you all actual, you can see some evidence of success postcards and all that kind of stuff, and we'll actually plan out the marketing. But as y'all are sitting here spending money in places, think about the response that you're going to get from these things and the quality of leads that it's going to get you. Okay, running this business at a high level and sustainable year over year, you don't want that burn and churn stuff. Like, you really don't. It's going to be here one day, you're going to close it, and it's going to be done. Okay, you want those people that whenever they hear real estate being talked about, they're dropping your name. You want those people that when they're scrolling through Facebook, and believe me, they probably have friends who are sitting there asking, who's a good realtor? Do y'all know anybody? You want them dropping your name. You don't want them saying, oh, I saw this one guy's ad on Facebook, or I get this postcard every month, or whatever. It's about these connections. Because believe me, some of these bigger companies out there, they have the budgets to send all the postcards they want. They have the budgets to run TV ads, commercials. They have the budgets to be playing in the middle of the Super Bowl. Did y'all see those mortgage commercials and real estate commercials during the Super? Like, they got those budgets, but what do you have? How can you compete against them? Well, I just told you how. So use it. Use it to your advantage.